Imagine this, a brand new mid-size electric pickup truck from a major automaker,
Okay.
and it's projected to cost you around $30,000.
Wow.
Seriously, a
Right.
new electric truck for that price. I don't even know if you can get a regular internal combustion truck for that anymore. It sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, what's truly groundbreaking here isn't just the price tag, though that's, huge. It's how Ford plans to actually achieve it.
Right.
We're talking about their ambitious universal EV platform. It's less about one specific truck and more about a completely new way of manufacturing cars.
Okay.
So this deep dive is really all about exploring exactly how Ford intends to deliver what they call a remarkably affordable EV. We're moving way beyond traditional assembly lines here.
A whole new system.
Exactly. And, we're talking the kind of price points that, well, until now, you've really only seen coming out of China, mostly.
Okay, so a $30,000 electric truck. And Ford is promising it'll actually be profitable. That's the kicker for me. Our mission today, then, is to unpack this really bold claim. We're going to dig into the details of this new platform, the really transformative production methods they're talking about, the specific battery tech they're using, and what it all means for the future of EVs. And importantly for you, if you're thinking about buying one,
Right.
we've pulled insights from sources like the Electric Viking YouTube channel and others to try and give you the clearest picture.
Good stuff.
So let's zero in on that headline number first. Ford is aiming to launch this midsize electric pickup truck for approximately $30,000 US. Target date is what, 2027?
That's the plan, 2027.
When you look at current EV prices, especially trucks, that figure is just audacious. It really changes the whole conversation around EV accessibility, doesn't it?
It really does. And this is a critical point because it's not just about hitting a low sticker price for them. Ford's not just trying to compete on price alone. They're aiming for this vehicle and the platform it's built on to be a strong, sustainable, and profitable business from day one. That's the direct quote.
Okay, profitable from day one. That's a huge shift.
It's a stark contrast, yeah. Especially when you consider their past EV ventures where they've been averaging these staggering losses around $35,000 to $40,000 per EV sold.
Wow. So yeah, for Ford, this isn't just, hey, new truck. It's survival, almost.
Yeah.
Making EVs actually work for their bottom line.
It's absolutely a strategic imperative. They have to make this work financially.
And it sounds like they're not just stripping everything out to hit that price either.
Yeah.
The practicality seems, well, pretty good.
Yeah.
The truck is said to be sized somewhere between like a Ford Maverick and a Ranger, so a useful size. But it promises more interior space than even a Toyota RV4.
Oh, interesting.
Plus, it gets a traditional truck bed and a front trunk trunk for extra secure storage.
Always
And on the utility side, they're promising fast charging, amazing range that we'll see what that means exactly. And this ability to power your house for up to 6 days.
Right, the vehicle-to-load capability.
Exactly. Which basically means you wouldn't need a separate generator. That's a massive value add at potentially $30 K.
It absolutely is, but it raises the big question, doesn't it? How? How exactly does Ford plan to achieve this kind of affordability and speed up production, especially after losing so much money before?
Yeah, that's the multi-billion-dollar question, right?
And the answer, they say, lies in this really transformative new EV platform. Ford executives are calling it as groundbreaking as the vehicle itself.
So the price sounds almost too good to be true.
Yeah.
How are they even thinking about building it this cheaply? Is it all just cutting corners, or is there something fundamentally different going on?
It seems to be the latter. And this is where Ford's manufacturing ideas could really, reshape how we think about car production. They're talking about efficiency gains that let them build these vehicles up to 40% faster than they do today.
40% faster.
Yeah. And the complexity is way down, like 20% fewer parts, 25% fewer fasteners. And get this, 40% fewer workstations needed on the assembly line.
Wow. That's not just tweaking things. That's a total rethink.
It's a strategic pivot. Fewer steps, fewer things to bolt together, faster builds.
So what does this new process actually look like? Is it totally different from the lines we're used to seeing?
It sounds quite different. Ford's implementing what they're calling an assembly tree process. It's going into their Louisville assembly plant.
Assembly tree.
Yeah, instead of one long single line, picture this. 3 major subassemblies, the front section, the rear section, and the battery platform, they run down their own separate lines all at the same time.
Ah, okay. Parallel processing.
Exactly. They only come together right near the very end. Now, people might think of Tesla's gigacasting here.
Right, making huge single pieces.
Yeah, and there are similarities in reducing complexity, but Ford is actually claiming their method might be even better. We'll have to see about that. But it is worth pointing out, this kind of modular parallel assembly, it's not entirely new globally. Something like half of the Chinese auto industry is already doing versions of this.
Okay, so it's a proven concept for efficiency.
Proven for high volume, cost-effective production, yeah.
That's a radical change for Ford, though. I mean, the moving assembly line is practically their invention.
It is. And CEO Jim Farley basically admitted it. He said there was, quote, no incremental path to success for Ford in EVs. They couldn't just tweak the old ways.
So they needed a revolution, not evolution.
Precisely. He even talked about empowering this tiny skunkworks team, you know, a small independent group working outside the usual bureaucracy.
Right, like Lockheed's famous group.
Exactly. Located 3 time zones away from Detroit, he said, to literally tore up the moving assembly line concept and design something much better.
That's a powerful image. Tearing up the concept they pioneered. Shows how serious they are.
It really does.
Okay, so that's the manufacturing side. What about the power source? What's actually inside these things? Are they using some radical new battery tech to get the cost down?
Well, the crucial element here is Ford's strategic shift to lower-cost batteries, specifically lithium iron phosphate, LFP.
LFP, we hear that a lot now,
Yeah.
especially with Chinese EVs.
We do. And for Ford, it's not just about cutting costs, though. That's obviously key. It's also a strategic move to, well, de-risk their supply chain.
How so?
LFP batteries don't rely as heavily on materials like nickel and cobalt, which can be volatile in price and sometimes have complex ethical sourcing issues.
Right.
So it gives them a more stable, potentially more sustainable battery future for mass market cars, even if maybe you trade off a tiny bit of top-end energy density or range compared to some other chemistry.
Okay, that makes sense. And what's special about Ford using LFP? Are they just importing them?
Actually, no, and this is significant. Ford is set to be the first major automaker to actually make prismatic LFP batteries right here in the United States.
Prismatic.
Yeah, it just refers to the cell shape more like a flat rectangle or brick rather than cylinders like some others use. It can be more space efficient for packing into the vehicle structure.
Gotcha. And they're making them in the U.S.
That's the plan. Sourced from a brand new plant they're building in Western Michigan. So it's aiming for a truly domestic supply chain for these core components.
And this all ties back to that Louisville plant transformation you mentioned.
Exactly. It's not just a minor retooling. Ford's pouring, what, $2 billion into that facility?
$2 billion, wow.
Yeah. Keeping 2,200 jobs there, expanding the plant footprint by about 52,000 square feet, all specifically designed to streamline the material flow for this new assembly tree process.
So that plant is becoming...
It's becoming a dedicated mega EV factory, which also means it's the end of the line for the current products built there, the Ford Escape and the Lincoln Corsair crossovers.
Right. All in on EVs for that plant.
Completely dedicated.
Okay. So we have the low price target, the revolutionary manufacturing, the LFP batteries. But, you know, whenever we talk EVs, there's always that one question that pops up.
Ah, yes. The battery longevity question. Let me
It's
guess.
battery life.
Yeah.
People worry, don't they, that these expensive batteries will just, you know, die after a few years and cost a fortune to replace. It's a persistent myth.
It really is a pervasive myth, and it's
Yeah.
one we definitely need to address because it holds people back.
It's a worry I hear constantly. But the reality, the actual data, seems to tell a very different story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the warranties.
It absolutely does. The reality counters that myth pretty strongly. I mean, look, almost all car companies now, Ford included, they warranty their EV batteries for, what, typically 8 years or 100,000 miles.
Right.
And they guarantee it will retain at least, usually, 70 or 75% of its original capacity during that time. You just don't get that kind of specific performance guarantee for a gasoline engine or transmission.
That's a really good point. They don't guarantee your engine won't lose power over 8 years.
Exactly. And we also have compelling real-world evidence now. It's not just theoretical anymore.
Yeah, like that story about the Mach-E.
Oh, the David Blankel story. Yeah, fantastic example. He's a ride-hail driver, an Uber driver. He put serious miles on his Ford Mustang Mach-E.
How many?
Over 250,000 miles in just 3 years.
Whoa. That's intense usage.
Super intense. Now think about doing that in a regular gas car, the maintenance, the potential issues. But for David, his Mach-E, after all that, still retained 92% of its original battery capacity.
92%.
Yeah.
After 250,000 miles.
92%. And he specifically chose an EV, not just for like cheaper fuel costs, but for stability, reduced maintenance, better uptime for his business, and just a lower total cost of ownership overall.
That's powerful real-world data.
It really is. And we see similar results reported for other high-mileage EVs too, like the Volkswagen ID.3 in Europe or the Hyundai Ioniq 5. The data just doesn't support the myth that these batteries die quickly. They're proving remarkably durable.
Okay, that's reassuring for potential buyers.
Definitely. So to kind of recap where we've landed in this deep dive, Ford is making this massive, really audacious bet on the future of EVs.
Yeah.
They've got this ambitious plan for a remarkably affordable, potentially $30,000 electric pickup truck enabled by a completely new universal platform, these highly efficient assembly tree production methods, and the strategic switch to lower cost, domestically produced LFP batteries.
Right.
All while the actual real-world data is consistently debunking those common myths about battery lifespan.
So putting it all together, what does this really mean for the bigger picture, for the auto industry? This isn't just, another truck model rolling out.
Done it.
This feels like a potential seismic shift, a complete overhaul of how cars are made, aiming to finally make EVs truly mainstream and profitable, which has been the elusive goal.
Exactly. Profitable from day one is the target. It's a fundamental change in how Ford operates, maybe born out of necessity, but it's definitely a bold leap forward.
A leap they arguably have to make.
Which brings us to maybe the final thought-provoking question for you listening. Given Ford's, let's be honest, historical challenges, things like their frequent warranty recalls.
Yeah, they've topped those lists quite a bit recently.
They've had more recalls than any other company globally for, 8 of the last 10 years, something like that. So given that history and this incredibly bold claim of a totally transformed vehicle built in a revolutionary way, can this new approach truly, save their bacon in this hyper-competitive EV market? Can they execute this massive shift flawlessly? And what does it mean for everyone else if they do pull it off or if they stumble?
Yeah, lots of questions remain. Execution is everything here. Can they really deliver on this promise? It's definitely something we'll be watching very, very closely.
Absolutely. The implications for the whole industry are huge.